Good afternoon, investigators. Mike Evans and Casey Pine here with episode 225 of Spy Curious, Australia's most exciting Friday afternoon investigation program for government, corporate and private investigators. And it's that exciting because it's the only one. How are you, Casey?
I'm amazing. Thanks, Mike. How are you?
Very well. Have you had a busy week?
Yes, I have. It's been a good.
You've just disappeared on me.
Okay. I need to stop pressing the wrong buttons.
Have you got over your cold?
Getting there.
Okay. All right, people. Once again, we've got an amazing, absolutely amazing program this week. And this is really important because down at Allied Universal, Leanne Corcoran, beautiful Leanne Corcoran, has been highlighted on LinkedIn by her employer. And they've put up a little profile of Leanne, and she is the person, when you're applying for a job at Allied Universal, who will speak to you, who will onboard you, who will ensure that you're a member of an industry association. Leanne will also ensure that you go through a general insurance and workers' compensation onboarding program. G'day, Freddie. Good to see you, mate. G'day, Xavier. Great to see you too. Really good. Hi, Joy. Thanks for dropping by. So Leanne is highlighted on LinkedIn, and you can read all about her and what she likes and what she doesn't like. And I can't see that. So, but anyway, they interviewed her and said, what's your favourite kind of music? And last week we had what kind of music investigators like. And what Leanne said, g'day, Nathan, good to see you, mate. Hi, everybody. She said she likes Evanscene. Now, that sounds to me like she's sucking up to me for some reason, but let's have a look at it. The music that private investigators like Leanne. How good is that? Jump on LinkedIn, join up with Leanne. She's the person that's going to onboard you when you get a job with MJM, formerly MJM, but now Allied Universal. Really great to see beautiful Leanne. Haven't seen her for a couple of years, but I'm sure we'll be catching up soon, and I'll look forward to that. Boy, we have got jobs. I've got to get rid of that picture, Casey. I've got too much stuff here. We've got jobs coming up. And some other things coming up today, a whole lot of stuff. Casey's got an ROI tip. Our Korean Investigator movie of the week. As you know, every week we end with a scene at the end from Cold Eyes. And this young lady tells all units their mission is complete and they've got to return. And I've done that for 225 episodes for some reason because I like the movie Cold Eyes. But if you want to see a worse movie than that, get on to YouTube and watch The Lovable Assassin. This is a great movie if you're into assassins and stuff like that. And Koreans really know how to make a great movie. So that's my private investigator movie of the week. You got to watch it before next week. There'll be a test on it. So that's all happening. In case he's going to be studying it as well. Pat Flynn just recently today in Investigations Uni was talking about taking statements from people and can statements be used in the absence of the person. Down in Tasmania this week, there's been a breakthrough in a 28-year-old cold case murder on the east coast of Tasmania. Victoria Cafasso was killed in 1995, stabbed on a beach. It was a terrible thing. It was awful. And new evidence has come out about the driver of a Subaru car who looked like a tanned, tall, fit surfer. And one of the witnesses at the time spoke about a person driving a Subaru erratically behind them. Now, that witness has since died, but the police, as a result of the new information, are conducting searches in a new area where that car turned off, according to that witness's statement. So they're looking for clothing or jewellery or something that may still exist, and DNA, if it's wrapped up, could still be there after 25 years. Who knows? It's a long shot. And they're diving in all the rivers and the dams. But hopefully for the family, there may be some closure there. The other thing that we talked about in Investigations Uni today was fraud investigations. In relation to fraud investigations, the incident of fraud equals the inclination, the opportunity, and the resistance in corporate Australia. So what that means is you've got to set up countermeasures against fraud. You do the right checks of people on their resumes and their history. You have two-factor, what Casey Pine says, two-factor sign-off if anyone's paying bills, and you create that resistance to the opportunities for people to do fraud. So you will do fraud investigations as a private investigator and a government investigator and a corporate investigator. And that's what we had today in Investigations Uni. The other types of investigations you will do also are OSINT investigations. What do you got for us, Casey?
I have. It's my favourite tool that I've spoken about before, but they have a new feature. So EPOS, if you've ever heard me speaking about this, this is a fantastic tool for getting information from an email. So not only do they pull breach data, they also pull things like your Google, they have a Google API, so that's all pulled together, Skype, and it brings up a whole bunch, and it's opened up a lot of cases for me, especially when it comes to bullying and harassment, and they hide behind an obscure email address, but it's something that they might have had for a while, and it will bring up information on them. So that's not new, but what the new part is that now you can do phone numbers as well, which is super exciting. So I just typed in my phone number, which I've hidden here because I dox myself quite a lot. And it shows here that this phone number is definitely related to an Instagram account. So that's a really handy piece of information. And also it brought up, if you pay, which I think we might pay for this and do a review on it and see if it's worth it for open source intelligence investigations, even though that's not open source once you pay, but it's really good to have all these things. But it's clearly got my photo, and clearly my phone number is related to that Google account. But also down here, you can see that it bursts open, wide open, who that phone number is related to. So not only is there my name, but there is a heap of information here. So it has my maiden name, it has my married name, it has my date of birth. These are 3 key pieces of information that you can use in your open source investigation or just your desktop investigations in general. So it's amazing now that they have phone numbers, and yeah, it's really good. It's a fantastic tool. I came across this tool early on after they just started. I haven't used ID Crawl, and I find Hunter to be a bit hit and miss, whereas this one just brings in everything that it has. And this is the free version. So this is open source. You start to pay for it, obviously. And what was I saying? Yeah, I came across this when judging a missing persons capture the flag competition, and yeah, I was really happy that they used this because they found a whole bunch of information on the person that was missing that they could hand over to the police as part of a very detailed report. So it's fantastic, and highly recommend you give it a whirl. It's great that they have the phone feature now.
Absolutely fantastic. All right. During Investigations Uni today, I was about to explain an amazing insight and I got interrupted and I didn't get to explain it. So I'll explain it now and then I can copy it into my course later. If you're a new investigator just starting out and you've got a job in an investigation agency, I know you'll be really excited about it. And I know you've heard Casey, Pat, myself. Next week, you'll hear Scott. You've heard other people come in here and talk about the investigations that they've done. That is really exciting and new to you. And I get that, I understand that. We do it for illustration purposes to give you an example of what you're going to go and do. Now, I could tell you 500 different types of investigations and you'll never do one similar because all your investigations will be different. Okay, that's how it goes. There's no two the same. But if you talk about your investigations to other investigators, it'll be really boring for them. Now, with your line manager, you talk to them about the investigation you're doing or you've just done, or you have to go and do another part of it. That's fine. But with other people, zip it and keep it to yourself. That goes for surveillance and factual. Okay. They're just concentrating on theirs, and I know you're excited about yours, and I don't want to kill your enthusiasm, but it's really, really boring to them. So it's a little tip that will elevate your trust, your, how could I put it, confidence in you from other investigators and the team you work for. G'day, everybody. Thanks for checking in. Hey, if you're enjoying this and you like it, we're trying to get 1,000 subscribers, people, and we're up to 967. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? If you wouldn't mind, give us a subscription there. We want to get up to 1,000 subscribers by this time next week. I'm not going to be monetized. Don't worry about that. YouTube don't like me. So we just want to see that 100,000 on our subscribers list. And how do we do that? We do that by telling you what jobs are available. Here we go. The great ladies at Scout Investigations in Sydney are looking for a report writer and editor. You'll need to be a licensed private investigator. This is part-time work, 10 to 20 hours per week. And you'll be doing vetting of reports that are being sent into the agency at Scout Investigation. Lovely ladies at Scout Investigations, a great opportunity with them. They're looking for someone with a bachelor's degree or equivalent, or studying towards that. They need people that have an ability to apply good judgment when working independently and strong attention to detail. Now, I cannot overemphasize strong attention to detail because it's what's missing in reports that counts here. And if the client is paying for a full report, you will be checking that everything is there for Scout Investigations. A great opportunity in New South Wales. And here we go, the great ladies at Scout Investigation. Sorry. I like to have the doorbell ringing. The cat appeared in the last show from behind me. Where's the pup, Casey?
She's out asleep.
Okay. All right. So, Cirrus Consulting. Cirrus Consultants are after a security vetting analyst for work, vetting people going into the Defence Force and people immigrating to Australia. You'll need the qualification certificate in government security, personnel vetting, and that's available at the Australian Security Academy, and it's our second most. So that's opportunity with Cirrus Consultants. It's our second most popular qualification, certificate in government security vetting. This is a great opportunity for intellectual property investigations, and it goes to brand. Hi, hello, SAPD. Sounds like South Australian Private Detectives. G'day, Evan. How you going, mate? Good to see you. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. So what we've got with this one is Risk and Investigations Intellectual Property Manager. One of the largest investigation agencies in Queensland, Risk and Security Management Proprietary Limited, are after an investigation support officer for intellectual property. Now, this is a really good opportunity to get into risk and security management. So you're going to be doing a whole range of things, marking exhibits, taking images, preparing legal matters and notices, conducting test purchases. So brand protection will be involved in this. And you'll be doing telephone inquiries, liaising with clients, infringers and investigators. So this is a major role at Risk and Security Management in Brisbane, a great opportunity. You will have to be a licensed investigator and hold a private investigation. They're one of the biggest investigation firms in Australia and probably the biggest in Queensland. Interesting thing, when you take legal action against an entity for intellectual property infringement, you may not have known this, but I did it once. And the barrister was talking to me over the phone and he asked me if I was an Australian citizen. And I said, yes, I am, as far as I know. He said, well, that's good. I said, why? He said, well, you can't take action against them for intellectual property infringement if you're not. Well, I didn't know that, and I have no idea why, but he was a barrister and it was his specialty area. So that's interesting. Who's looking for licensed factual investigators?
Procare Group is seeking licensed private investigator for factual investigations in Melbourne. Corporate Investigative Services are seeking a licensed private investigator for factual investigations in Melbourne, and that's in general insurance investigations, which we've just spoken about in Investigations Uni today. And the Massel Group are looking for a licensed private investigator in Melbourne. Quantum Corp are looking for licensed private investigators, factual investigators in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Wollongong, Illawarra and the south coast of New South Wales to conduct workers' compensation, insurance and superannuation. G'day everyone at Quantum Corp. I know you watch this program every week.
So if you are a licensed investigator and you're not working, send me your resume if you're an Australian Security Academy student, and I'll put you in touch with all those people. Now, people say to me, I've got to have experience or I'm not getting anywhere. Sorry. These people will take you without any experience at all. Just send me your resume.
My client is an established 30-year investigation agency with multiple contracts with insurance companies around Australia. They're seeking CTP liability investigators down in Melbourne, Victoria. And they've said to me, send every graduate. No experience required, no experience necessary. They must be a licensed private investigator and an Australian Security Academy graduate student and a member of an industry association. Send your resume to michael@riskoz.com. Please don't ask me for details about it. If you're interested in work, apply. What a fabulous opportunity to get in and get a start in investigations in Australia.
They're very serious about that. So they will onboard you. They will put you through their program. But their clients, get this, the clients they have, they expect you to be a member of an industry association, and they expect you to do continual professional development. Now, there is only one industry association in Australia that charges nothing for membership. That's the Academy of Investigation, Risk and Loss Adjusting Professionals, which you become a free member of when you graduate from the Australian Security Academy or you're studying at the Academy. You'll never be asked for an annual fee. You'll never be asked to go to a annual conference, because all that annual conference is a whole bunch of people talking over a day, day and a half, 2 days about less than what we talk about every week at Investigations Uni and here on Spy Curious. So you're still getting your CPD, and you can do your CPD through Investigations Uni. Why do clients do that? Because lawyers do it. Barristers do it. They have to. Claims managers do it. When you played sport, and you still play sport today, you went to training twice a week so you could play sport. Casey watched a sporting team play last Saturday. They go to training 5 times a week, don't they, Casey?
I guess so.
And they're pretty good at it.
Yes, well, they're in the final. Let's go England.
Yeah, where were you? Who did you watch?
I was down in Sydney. I got to watch England and Colombia. So it was a very colourful and loud Colombian heavy stadium, like so many feathers and flags. It was beautiful. It was really amazing to watch. Unfortunately, Colombia didn't get up, but England are a very strong team and they're really good to watch.
So they are top level athletes. They still train. I don't care what you say about how qualified you are in investigations. And we get people studying our program, like I said, with doctorates, right? We had 2 doctors graduate from our program last week, and I'm very proud of that. They're not so important that they don't continue to study. All right, we get barristers and lawyers and detectives and beginners studying our course. It's ongoing professional development. I don't interact with people that don't study because that's not my world. Everybody that watches this is studying something. All right. And that's what they do, whether it's fraud control, personnel vetting, OSINT, whatever it is you're studying. And we formalise that through the AirLap. And that's what that organisation with take you on with no experience. They want you to be a member. So that certificate and your CPD that you get as a result of that is really important, people. Don't take it for granted and don't think it's not worthwhile. Next week, we have coming up on Investigations Uni, we've got Scott Taylor coming in. He's going to be talking about interrogation techniques. Now, generally, that doesn't happen in workers' compensation and general insurance and public liability and civil investigations, but he's going to be talking about it. Why? Well, there are situations, and it's not always a bomb ticking or a child's being kidnapped, where it is essential to get substantial information very quickly. And he studies his art, and he's going to be sharing that with us in Investigations Uni next week. So that's really important. The other thing about those CPD programs that you see in Investigations Uni, next week's episode 60 with Scott Taylor on elicitation skills. Today was fraud investigations with Pat Flynn, is they marry up to the previous ones. So the first one here on this list is time and event lines. And Pat Flynn was talking about fraud investigations. You won't do a fraud investigation without time and event lines. You will not do a fraud investigation without a record of interview. All those things matter, and they are there free at Investigations Uni. And here's Scott. This week, he accepted the award for the best education business in Camden in New South Wales. And he's going to be coming to share his knowledge on elicitation skills with us next Friday at 1 p.m. on Investigations Uni. I'm really looking forward to that. Update on last week, Office of Fair Trading have now corrected their requirements and matched their state requirements to the federal requirements for units of competency with the correct number and the correct name. That's all been corrected, and well done, Office of Fair Trading. That's very good of you to do that. It makes a level playing field throughout Australia. If you're in Melbourne and you're looking for investigation work, get in touch with Rob at Seeker Investigations. He wants to hear from you if you're a licensed investigator. So that's really important.
I've just got one more thing as well, a reminder, speaking of continuous professional development. So don't forget, coming up on the 12th of September, we've got Skip Shawhurst coming to Australia to talk about open source intelligence in a foreign language. So rather than hitting a foreign language in your investigation case and going, no, can't do this, and handing it off to someone who can, you can study something like this to help you get that little bit further. And don't forget that if you would like to see the whole interview with me and Skip, how many weeks ago was that, Mike? Was it about 3 or 4 weeks ago? We'll have to figure that out. It wasn't that long ago. And I interview Skip and we talk about the importance of doing something like this, and he assures me that if he can learn it, anyone can. So it's down in Sydney, and I think it'll be well worth it. I'm going, so you'll see me there.
Very good. That's on the 12th of September?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that's fantastic. All right, Skip's a lovely person. He's a really great person to have on our program. He asked me to join up with him on LinkedIn. Take advantage of LinkedIn, people. Join up with me and Casey and other people. Don't forget, we're looking for 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube watching, please subscribe. We want to get our numbers up. If ever you're into marketing and you want to know if YouTube works. I didn't know. We put a few videos up on YouTube and didn't even think about it. Then one day we went to YouTube and saw we had 30,000 views. I couldn't believe that we had 30,000 views. I think we've had a lot more than that since, but it's a very effective method of marketing, especially if you're building a community like we are in the investigations community. So, yeah, give it a subscribe. Thanks very much, people. Really appreciate that. Here we go. Here's a question for you, Casey. Well, Casey and I had this issue. Nancy and I had this issue come up this week. We had a person seeking a lot of people, and I would imagine a lot of the people that were being sought might be locatable in another language because they like being medical professionals or whatever it was, or lawyers or whatever it was we were looking for. So we've got someone's going to it. Yeah, we've got someone going to it. Casey, sorry, I took it down as you put it up. And there was someone else going. Joy's going to go to it next week. She's got a one-on-one. Good on you, Joy. Well done. Lovely bloke. You'll really learn a lot. So, people, thank you very much for watching. That's episode 225 of Spy Curious. I don't know how Casey does it. Next week, don't forget, we've got elicitation skills with Scott Taylor on Investigations UNi. Don't miss that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun today. We'll see you all next week. We're going out with the Koreans from Cold Eyes. Give it a Google, people, on YouTube. Cold Eyes, for 3/4 of that movie. It's really, really good. And there's an investigation technique in there. If you're on surveillance and a person gets out of a lift and you want to know which room they're going to, what to do. And that's in the movie Cold Eyes, which we end our program with.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
Okay, people, all units, please return to base. Thanks, Freddie. Have a good weekend, mate. Thanks, Joy. You have a good weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody. Give YouTube a subscribe for us. Tell all your friends to subscribe, aunties, cousins. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for coming in.
No worries. See you next week, everyone.